Welcome to Wesley Impact. I'm Keith Garner. What does Good Friday mean to you? Well, welcome to this special Good Friday episode of Wesley Impact. Over the past week, Wesley Mission has reflected on the events of the first Holy Week, with outreach events on Palm Sunday through special church services and various areas of our work in congregations and as a whole mission through our Easter lunch and breakfast events. Later today, we'll stop and reflect just for a while on the significance of Good Friday in another public outreach in the centre of the city of Sydney in Martin Place, as the Wesley Mission family gathers to recount the events leading up to the first crucifixion that leads us into thinking about crucifixion today and the death of Jesus Christ. To tell us more and to answer the question I asked about the significance of Good Friday, I'll speak with a colleague in the ministry team at Wesley Mission, Jeane Finnegan. We'll also be joined by Leah Brett, who will join the Wesley Impact Band to sing Soul's Anthem. Today is Good Friday, and not surprisingly, I'll talk about its significance as we remember the love displayed in this important day upon the cross. The ministry work of Wesley Mission takes place all year round, and over the next 2 weeks, I'd like to share with you the work of two of our chaplains. The role of a chaplain is a very special gift to a community. When I look back now over 40 years of ministry, I've been involved in all kinds of chaplaincy, in hospitals, hospice chaplaincy, as well as prison and sports chaplaincy. They're all different, and yet each has an involvement of walking alongside people where they are, in joy, pain, or even rejection. This week, we'll be following a chaplain from our work with the homeless. So let's take a look together, shall we?
A chaplain spends time with people, spends time listening to them and hopefully encouraging them, and specifically encouraging them in Jesus. As a general thing, I think people want to talk to a chaplain because they want to talk about things that have happened in their past or something that's happened to them that's impacted them. Sometimes they don't know why, sometimes they do know why and they want to share that. I'd also like to think that people will come to see a chaplain and tell them some good news, something joyful. But yeah, I think a lot of people come to see a chaplain for that and to seek some encouragement in God. We want people to actually enjoy our meetings together, to get fulfillment and purpose from spending time with not just me, but also when we meet, sometimes there's a group of us. So with the other people who are there, it can be a joyous time. I think what it is it's God's community of people. And then they feel part of that community. They feel and know that they're part of something so much bigger than just themselves. There's a section of my day that I'll be meeting people, conversation with them, and I'll try and end those conversations with prayer. And that may be with staff or clients. And another part of my day, I will always like to spend time doing Bible study with people. Bible study and praying with people. So I have many people who will come to Bible studies or maybe church who don't believe, but they've got questions and they find that space peaceful, and restful and secure. When people have a problem, the first thing they want to do is instinctively run away from that problem. So most people isolate themselves from problems, and so then they'll never talk to anyone about it. And I think that's probably the biggest barrier. When you have problems, you actually need to go to a safe place to see people and talk about that and get some good advice. Because when you're having problems, you're stressed, and when you're stressed, you don't make the best decisions. All of us are like that. I think that people, when they're going through problems, we are pretty much all the same. We want to know we're supported. We want to know someone's got our back. We want to know someone's there for us. We want to know that we are actually valued. You know, whether you're a resident or a staff member, you want to know you're valued. You know, so I think in that respect, we are all the same. I think you want to walk alongside people and hopefully be able to guide them in some way. Certainly the way we want to guide them in is to the Lord, but just guide them and be there for them as well, so that they can know the God in their hopeless situation. They can know the God that brings hope.
If you would like to learn more about Wesley Mission, visit wesleymission.org.au. You can find help in our community services, connect with our church and congregations, discover a volunteer role that suits you, stay up to date on the latest news and information, donate to support our work, and help make a positive difference in your community. You can also connect with us on social media and subscribe to receive the latest news and information about Wesley Mission directly into your inbox. Visit wesleymission.org.au.
Please don't hesitate to be in touch if you'd like to find out more about our work at Wesley Mission, or if we can be of help to you. The contact details are once again on the screen now. Now, I asked the question at the top of the show, what does Good Friday mean to you? Now, to begin to explore that question and talk about the significance of Good Friday to the Christian story, I'm joined by a colleague from Wesley Congregational Life, Jeane Finnegan. Jeane, it's good to welcome you.
Thank you, Keith.
Now, you've been on the show once before, but that was when you were doing a very different role than the one you're doing now. What do you do now that's different?
So in my previous role, I was chaplain of the Wesley Centre. I've now moved into congregational life specifically, and I'm now the associate pastor for our Wesley International Congregation. So it's similar to chaplaincy in the sense that it involves coming alongside our congregation members pastorally. But as in Ephesians 4, it talks about, the pastors are there to equip the saints for service. And so I'm quite passionate about helping our congregation members to discover what their God-given gifts are and to apply those gifts. And I think it's a great mix because in my previous role, we sort of were exploring what opportunities there are across the mission for our congregation members to be serving within the rest of Wesley Mission. So wanting to help people to use their gifts throughout the mission. So,
what are some of the things that role entails? I mean, what things are you doing week by week?
Yeah, so it involves a lot of coming alongside people, getting to know them, getting to know what their passion is, getting to know what they want to do. And
I suppose when you're new, that's especially important, isn't it?
Yes, that's important. But there's also preaching and teaching, equipping, all the things that are involved in sort of being a pastor in the church. So. Yeah. And
it's a great thing that we recognise in Wesley Mission the importance and role of women as being able to preach just as much as a man. Yeah. And I want to say that because I think it's important. What about this whole business of Good Friday? Tell us first of all what we're going to do this afternoon.
So this afternoon we're going to have a service out in Martin Place. So it's a public remembrance of Good Friday. It's going to be a great event. There'll be drama and music, testimony, there'll be a message and an opportunity to respond. There'll also be free hot cross buns on offer and just a time to connect. So I think it's going to be a wonderful time as we remember this incredibly important day.
So you have to be deeply religious to come to this event?
Not at all, not at all. You can come in and spectate and watch it. Often people just walking past stop, but...
So you're not being confronted to do something, we're not going to say, come on, you've got to sing on the stage and be separate.
No, not at all, not at all. You can just come and watch and be a part of it and get as involved or not as you would like.
And so. I suppose for me, the beauty of that is that the death of Jesus took place in a public place, didn't it? It wasn't in a nice church somewhere, it wasn't hidden away, it was in a place where people hurled insults and gathered and mocked and did all those kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a very important place for us as Australians because it's in Martin Place where we often remember the Anzacs who sacrificially gave their lives for our freedom. And in the same way, we're remembering how God sacrificially gave his life for our eternal freedom. So
tell me what,
quite symbolic.
If you will, tell me what Good Friday means to you.
Oh, it means everything. because it is the day when God demonstrated his love for me personally and for others. When Jesus Christ went to the cross and he took my sin upon him, and paid the price and the penalty for my sins, so that as I put my faith in what he's done, that I'm brought into deep and intimate relationship with God, both now and into eternity. There's nothing that I could do to earn that. God is holy, and so he cannot have sin in his presence, but he's loving, and so he made a way through Jesus Christ and his death on the cross.
Easter has not gone the way of Christmas yet, has it, in the popular culture? There's still a sense on Good Friday and Easter Day when the city goes quiet and we recognise this is not like any other day.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I think, do you believe that this is a time when we can genuinely reach out in evangelism and mission to other people?
Yes, absolutely, because I think it's a time when people are questioning. It's a time when people are, especially when we're doing the public witness. We were doing an event a couple of years ago, and somebody from another faith community said, well, why is it Good Friday when Jesus had to die?
Absolutely.
And so that gave us the opportunity to explain the essence of the faith, God's grace and his love and his mercy, and what Jesus did on the cross to make a way for us to come into that deep and intimate relationship with God.
I often think that question and that answer, why is it called Good Friday, is the starting point of a really deep and profound conversation about the nature of God, isn't it? Thank you, Jeane, for coming along and sharing. And if people are there, introduce yourself to Jeane.
Yeah,
as well as to me this afternoon at 1:30 in Martin Place for a special moment that we're sharing together. Thank you, Jeane.
Thank you, Keith.
Please welcome now Leah Brett to sing Soul's Anthem.
Teach me how to love you, show me how to trust you, more than with my words or with a song. No, it's not been easy to live life down on my knees, but with faith I know I'll carry on. There is more to see than with my eyes, but fear sometimes can leave me paralyzed. I realize that I'm not in control, yet it is well with my soul. The enemy's against me, arrows all around me. Never knew the fight would last so long. In seasons of depression, I plead for your protection. Make me right, I'm tired of being wrong. Every time there's hope, it seems to die, and the voices all around me feed that lie. Everything I see tells me to let go, yet it is well with my soul. It is well
Experience the Galilee and the towns and cities where Jesus was raised and called his home. Capernaum, Nazareth, Tabgha, Magdala, Caesarea Philippi, Bethsaida, Tiberias, and of course the Sea of Galilee all feature in this 6-part series as Keith Garner explains the first century context of biblical events.
Jesus was born during a time of change in the political and economic leadership of this region. Fishermen around a lakeside was really one of the big businesses. Why Jesus? Why didn't people ignore him? Why did they take him seriously? And what are the questions we should be asking today if we're going to take Jesus seriously?
The Man of Galilee is available now and comes with a study guide for leaders, small groups and individuals. For more, visit wesleymission.org.au.
So we are at Good Friday, and I remind myself of the importance of the day. I feel I'm walking on sacred ground when I speak on this day. There's a famous story of the great Bishop of Milan who got into the pulpit and stood to preach to the congregation and hardly said a word. He said, "On this day I dare say nothing," because he remembered the gift of salvation that came through the death of Christ. And when I considered what I should read, I was led to the words found in Luke 23, verses 32 to 35. So let me read them to you. 2 other men, both criminals, were also led out with him to be executed. When they came to the place called the Skull, they crucified him there, along with the criminals, one on his right, the other on his left. Jesus said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they're doing." And they divided up his clothes by casting lots. The people stood watching, and the rulers even sneered at him. They said, "He saved others, let him save himself, if he is God's Messiah, the chosen one." I particularly want to focus on one of those, what we call the final words of Jesus from the cross. "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Oh, there's something about the fitness of those words for the world as we live it today. They fit appropriately in a world where forgiveness is so difficult to apply. When you think of terrorism, when you think of divisions in our society, when you think of the hurts that can be poured out and inflicted upon others, forgiveness is very difficult to apply. It fits disturbingly when we look at ourselves. Oh, and we do need to look at ourselves, don't we? Because we know that we do not live lives as we really want to. Later on today, when we think of the cross, as we shall in Martin Place, we're very conscious that the cross is not just a story from the Middle East all that time ago. It's the way in which God set up his love for people today and for you and I. And it fits uncomfortably when we think of it in the context of justice and fairness. This world isn't fair. I think it's a very important moment in any parent's life when the young person that has been grown in their family since a wee baby thing comes in and says, "It's not fair." And you've got to be careful how you handle this. But life isn't fair. There is so much injustice in this world. So many things that don't deserve to happen to people do happen. So many things happen in our society that seem to kick against the grain of what is fair. I recall many visits to Jerusalem and the importance of the place of the skull. Oh, the company that Jesus spent his time with as he offered his forgiveness at the cross was a very, very different kind of world. I've gone down the Via Dolorosa, the way of sorrow. I've gone to those places that people would hold up. When we talk about the place of the skull, it's a rather messy place, really. It's across a main road. It's outside the city walls. So on Good Friday, we often sing, "There is a green hill far away," outside a city wall. It's not in a place of exceptional beauty. And the reason it was known as the skull is that there is in the side of the rock the image of what might be called a skull. When I first started taking groups to Jerusalem, it was over the bus station. It was smelly. It was dirty. It wasn't somewhere that you'd choose to go. However, there is a sense in which it is the appropriate place to remember the love of God. A cross that was set up at the heart of the world, at the heart of pain and suffering and sorrow and hurt. A cross that speaks to marginalized, poor, cast aside, to those who've got nothing to offer, as the old hymn says, nothing in my hand I bring, simply to your cross I cling. The heart of the gospel is not that we have something great and that faith is what we have and we bring it here. We have nothing to offer, not even our faith, nothing. Nothing saves us, save the grace of God. And that's what the cross is really all about. And when I think of this year, when it comes to Good Friday and Easter, I think of the things that have happened in our world during this past year. And there's plenty that has been fractured and broken about love and about the world as it is. But thank God, he's got a place for everybody. He's got a place and a time where forgiveness can be not only talked about, but experienced. Jesus prayed forgiveness. Forgiveness because we don't know what we're doing. We're mindless. We're blind to the truth. We don't really grasp it. And yet forgiveness is not held back. It's offered for us all. And upon the cross, in his actions, in his gracious love, we see before our very eyes what forgiveness means. So for those who go to that great city and cross that road with all the busyness of traffic and go to a place that is the most unlikely place on earth, there they remembered that the cross was set up. Oh, they mocked him, they rejected him, but it was a place of love. And on Good Friday, we celebrate that, we commemorate that, and we thank God for his gracious gift for me and his gracious gift of love, which is a gift for you.
If you would like to contact Keith and find out more about today's program, write to us at Wesley Mission, Post Office Box A 5555, Sydney South 1235, or you can send us an email to impacttv@wesleymission.org.au. On our website, you can catch up on past episodes of Wesley Impact, find out more about our work, read online magazines and articles, and connect with us on social media. You can also connect through Keith's blog and stay up to date on all the latest news and information from Wesley Mission, wesleymission.org.au.
Don't forget, you can write to me if you've got questions about the Christian faith, and in particular about the significance of Good Friday and Easter. I always look forward to hearing from people, and I will respond. There's always something to look forward to in the life of Wesley Mission. Let's take a peek at what's coming up soon.
Wesley Mission's Holy Week celebrations continue today with our Good Friday event at the Martin Place Amphitheatre starting at 1:30 p.m. Our annual Easter Sunrise service on Easter Day is an event you won't want to miss and will be on this Sunday, the 21st of April at 6 a.m. at the Sydney Opera House. Wesley Mission will be holding many church services on Easter Day at the Wesley Centre, starting at 10 a.m. For more information on what is coming up at Wesley Mission, please visit our website.
And there's the website on the screen again for more information about all our news and upcoming events. A good way to stay connected with us is through our social media channels. You can link to us at Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn and work from our website. I hope you found the conversation with Jeane interesting and those thoughts about Jesus at the cross worth reflecting further upon. Don't forget, if you're in Sydney today, you're welcome to join us at Martin Place at 1:30 p.m. for our special Good Friday outreach. Introduce yourself to us. And then, of course, within a short period of time, we shall be at the Opera House next week at the very early time of 6 o'clock. Be there from about 5:30. Today it'll be a public performance recounting the events that led up to the crucifixion of Jesus and the cross. And we'll allow a time to reflect on the significance of Good Friday. A short service, a wonderful time together. It'll be good to see you there if you can make it. So thank you for being with us on the show today, and I'll see you next week, Easter Day, the great day of the Christian faith, here on Wesley Impact and from the Opera House, Sydney. God bless you and have a great week.
Wesley Mission walks alongside people of all ages struggling with homelessness, addictions, mental health issues and financial stress. To find out more, visit wesleymission.org.au.